Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I'm going to do a couple of things in this video. The first thing is I'm going to predict for you what I believe you're about to see happen in the digital asset space and the United States in general, what's about to happen and what you're going to see. And I'm going to give you a call to action. Then at the end of this video, I'm going to show you what I'm about to do. I've thought this through, and I'm about to get myself involved in some of these private investments. I wanted to show you what my thought pattern was. But first, I wanted to show you the market. There is now I think we've added another $5 or so billion to this market today. And XRP has worked its way on up. It was at about 24 cents earlier, and it's up 5.19% right now. Things are looking pretty strong for XRP. Now, in my last video, I brought up the guy that I met at Swell in Singapore, who is the greatest, the most smooth salesman that I've ever met, and perfect symmetry reminded me of the guy's last name. This is him. I mean, he looks like, and in fact, I joked around with him. I said, you need to be a movie star. Forget being a salesman. But the guy is one of those guys that enters a room and he's just sharp as he can be. He now works at Curve, but I was just making the point how hard it is to get a really good salesman, or whatever they call him now, business development guy. But ultimately, that you can't, it's hard to put a number on how valuable someone like that is. That guy was one of those guys, walks into a room and he makes everybody in the room feel like they're the most important person in the world. And that, I knew it the second I started talking to him. And in fact, I told him, I said, I can tell, man, you got the it factor going on. Anyway, okay, now, I was listening to a little bit of Ripple's Swell North America thing, and to be quite honest, I got kind of bored watching it, and so I turned it off. Now you would think I would listen to every word, but no. The truth is, sometimes I get bored by when they start going too deep in, you start talking about XRP part of it, then yeah, I'm in. But when you start going off on all the ins and outs of payments and all that, it gets kind of boring. But I wanted to show you, there was one guy, and I found a video of him. There's one guy that was in he was on their panel. He was one of the guys in there. His name's Reed Lutanen, okay? He's executive director of the U.S. Faster Payments Council. And I found this video from July 14th of him being interviewed by this guy. And I wanted to show you first the U.S. Faster Payments Council, okay? And I wanted to show you who the founding members were first, so you can see who's involved in this thing. You got Goldman Sachs, Visa, the Clearinghouse, MasterCard, Early Warning System, which owns Zelle, right? And don't forget, the founder of Zelle now is the CEO of Interstellar, which is what I call XLM's Ripple. It's the company that is working on the primary use case, is the way I understand it. They've got TD Ameritrade, Chase. Oh, there's BNY Mellon. They always seem to pop up. Walmart's involved. So you can see some of the people involved. Now, let's look at the leadership of this Faster Payments Council and see if we know anybody. There's the guy that was at the Ripple conference. And then you'll see all kinds of names, Walmart, North American Banking, the Bankers Bank, BNY Mellon is represented. Let's see who else. Visa, MasterCard, the Clearinghouse, Shazam, and Ripple. Pat Thielen from Ripple is one of the people in the leadership. And then you got someone from Fiserv as well. Well, I found a couple of interesting clips from this guy's little interview here. And he, in this clip right here, he tells you that the Federal Reserve was involved in the creation of this council that he
Yeah, it's not surprisingly a question I get a lot. So the U.S. Faster Payments Council was created by a cross-industry group called the Governance Framework Formation Team that was convened by the Federal Reserve. Our purpose is to bring together all the different stakeholder groups who are interested in payments. So that includes business end users, includes financial institutions, technology providers, network providers, trade associations, consultancies. Pretty much anybody who's interested in payments is welcome to join the Faster Payments Council. And so our mission is
Okay, so that's the first clip I wanted you to hear. And then I wanted you to hear this clip where they bring, I think this is the clip where they mention Ripple.
this thing being successful, right? But I think, if you're talking about, will there be cross-border payments initiated through what we're calling faster payments? I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, that's, for sure there are going to be people who need that to happen and they're going to figure it out. And that's one of the beauties of, having a lot of different folks in the space working on this and trying to figure out what are these solutions. And we've got some really creative members of the FPC like Ripple, and others who are really, sort of locking in on that. And they probably would say, hey, we're already doing cross-border faster payments. So maybe I should just say,
they say all sorts of things. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. We know those Ripple guys.
Yeah. So, I think it's like absolutely Ripple. Something that we need to be focused on as an industry. And we need all the voices from the different parts of the industry at the table to figure this stuff out, to make sure that ultimately what we arrive at is something that works for merchants and for financial institutions and the technology providers in between.
All right.
Okay. And then finally, I want you to hear this part, because this is what this has to do with my prediction. All right. Right here. Listen to this part.
When I read this, I think different means different than the banks.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think I've covered this a little bit, but I think there are all kinds of use cases that the providers and the financial institutions who are offering them are open to enabling. I think, back to one of the, another reason for the question about, why would banks be interested in this when, they've got all this revenue coming in from the interchange side. And I think part of the answer to that is they need to be providing for their customers the services that their customers are demanding in the marketplace. Otherwise, somebody else is going to offer that and their customers are going to go to that somebody else. And so I think there's a real threat to financial institutions from emerging fintechs and challenger banks that they're starting to understand.
This is what that custody decision was about last week, folks. This is why what I'm about to tell you is going to happen. Just watch, just wait for it. It was all a planned watch.
The way to respond to that threat is by becoming, more digital, more tech forward, offering solutions that encourage customers to use their app and keep their deposits, frankly, in that bank, rather than turning those deposits over to another bank or to a fintech who would control, a pool of deposits and decide where they're put. So there's, if you don't have deposits, it doesn't really matter if you would get interchange income if you don't have any customers. Bingo.
All right. So this is my prediction right here. And I got this idea from Big Skinny, who is the official smart aleck of the Digital Asset Investor channel. And Big Skinny, I was talking to him this morning and I got the idea. It just popped in my head while he was talking. And this is what's going to happen, folks. Now, first I want to show you this. Ron Zagone kind of hits it too. A bank strategy view for discussion, tear it up Twitter. Many bank fintech partnerships coming to H. Banks are being squeezed by many open infrastructure projects. Excuse me. COVID accelerating digital needs. Suddenly tighter budgets. Market is primed for tech challengers. With this squeeze and to keep fintech and big tech from taking further wallet share, that's the line right there. Banks to lean on partnerships that can be rapidly deployed and keep the bank front of mind for customer. All right. Then there was this. I got, and first I want to remind you of this. Remember how I told you that, and I didn't just tell you, it happened. CNBC, the traditional financial media, and CNN completely ignored that OCC announcement last week. They ignored it. They did not. And remember, they're owned by the banks. They're owned by them. Okay. Now, and that's not insignificant. Now, you think about this for a minute. The OCC order comes down that banks can custody this. So what do you do if you are the traditional banks, the financial advisors, the banking system and the investment advisors? Once you know it, you go in motion. And here's what I'm predicting is going to happen. Remember yesterday? We saw this go out from Grayscale, the digital currency toolkit for financial advisors. So everybody knows that now these financial advisors are coming. And here's what's and this was sent to me right here. James Rule, XRP, sent me this. This is a client memorandum. OCC confirms that national banks may provide cryptocurrency custody services. And this is a letter to the people that are at this company, whatever this is, Davis Polk. But the last line is the important line right here. Bank cryptocurrency custody services may in turn facilitate increased participation by broker-dealers, investment advisors, and registered investment companies in the cryptocurrency markets. So here's what's going to happen, folks. I'm calling it right now. Those of you out there that have financial advisors, that have banking relationships, these people, they're going to try to get ahead of this. They're going to start calling their clients. Okay. They're going to start calling you especially if they know you've got cryptocurrencies, but you're going to start getting calls because here's what the bank, this is the reason the news was avoided by the people that are the media that is owned by these banks, is because they do not want all of the country, the United States, to be put on notice. Hey, this is going to be available at your bank, because they know that you'll go to the Binances of the world and the people that can do it now to try to get ahead of it. So what they're going to do is they're going to start calling you. Well, it's an opportunity for us. Why don't we call them? So I've got a call to action today. I'm going to name some names. All of you out there that listen to my voice, if you have a financial advisor, call them. Even if you don't, call some of these companies I'm going to point out to you, because all of them, I've told you from the beginning of this channel, all of them are going to be selling you digital assets, and not just digital assets. Every product that you can imagine having to do with digital assets, you're going to be able to custody your XRP at these places, and they are in motion. I want you to call them. Let's beat them to the punch. Let's find out. When is it going to be available? My prediction is that it's sooner rather than later. Call Morgan Stanley. Call Goldman Sachs. Call Fidelity. Call E-Trade. Call Charles Schwab. Call Wells Fargo. Call JP Morgan. Call Citi. Find out if they're going to win. It's not if. Find out when they are going, and then shoot me a message. My email address is digitalassetinvestor2018@gmail. Send me an email and let me know what they said, because I'll report on it. And if you've got a Twitter handle, let me know what your Twitter handle is so I can flash you up there. When you send me an email, unless I have a Twitter handle, I'm not going to show your name or any of that stuff. It's easier to just show your Twitter handle. But call these people. Let's find out when we're going to be able to put our digital assets at these places. Call your financial advisor. Ask them, because in the last couple of years, as we've been asking these questions, they always acted like they didn't know anything. But now they know how to get paid. I'm telling you, write it down. That's the fact, Jack. All right. Now, Jonathan D. sent me this from Ripple. We're proud to be named one of the 100 best workplaces for innovators by Fast Company. So Ripple, once again, I think that's happened before. Now, I want to go to tell you what I'm thinking about doing here shortly. So Uphold, remember we've covered this. Uphold, and I don't think you can do it in the United States yet, but I wanted to put this picture in your mind together of what is transpiring right in front of us. Uphold says, welcome to the new home for your financial life. So you're going to be able to do it in the US. You just can't yet. You can now, so you can, let's say you had your XRP on Uphold. You can now buy US equities soon in the United States, but not yet, I don't think. You can buy currencies. You can buy precious metals. You can buy crypto. You can buy fractional shares of US equities. Well, then, and these are some of the equities that are available. Okay. And of course, that'll grow and grow and grow. Now, I told you about this last week. I've shown you this. This is that company Link. It's Link2, LINQTO, and you can go to them now. You can go and open an account at which I did at Link2, LINQTO, and you can get now. Traditionally, you and I have not had access to private investing like this. But that's what these guys are doing. They're opening it up to smaller investors. I think $10,000 might be the entry level. But they've got Uphold stock, and they've got Coinbase, Link2 stock, Ripple stock. So what I'm thinking, I'm seeing what Uphold is doing here. Uphold they're making moves that Coinbase hasn't even made. I'm getting extremely bullish on this. So what I'm thinking about doing is going in and buying Uphold and Link2, because Link2 is going to be one of the first private investing platforms like this, where here in the next 2 or 3 days, you're going to be able to buy your digital, you're going to be able to use XRP. The way I understand it, their wallet is going to be connected to the Uphold wallet. So if you have XRP on Uphold, you'll be able to go into the Link2 app, and there will be a drop down, and it'll show you your XRP. It might show your bank account as one option to buy Link2 shares, for example. And then in the drop down, it'll show that you have XRP because it's connected to the Uphold platform. Okay. That is huge. And from an investment perspective, it tells me that that company and that company are going to be huge too. So that's what I'm looking at. I was looking at it this morning and I was like, whoa. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And by the way, I try to say this twice because I'll have people asking me, what was that website? It's Link2. It's LINQTO.com, and they also have an app, which is where what you really want to do is download the app. You can download, it's LINQTO. Download the app on